Hey everybody, we're back. I think this is vlog number 5, and what we're going to talk about is independent filmmakers who like to or want to, do self-distribution. And, oh hey, thank you. Yes, I've been waiting for this. Gotta have it. We're probably going to be short again today. We're really busy around here, and we're trying the best we can to squeeze everybody in best we can. The majority of the questions I got this week was on self-distribution, so that's why we're going to cover self-distribution, also known as alternative distribution. Now, there's a reason why it's called alternative distribution, is because nowadays nobody can do it alone. Self-distribution used to be in the past. You used to do it all yourself. You'd book everything. You'd do everything. Nowadays, there's so many different companies out there and so many ways to go about doing this stuff. It has totally changed it. So you're going to be partnering with somebody no matter what you try to do. Even if you try to self-distribute, alternative distribution, you're going to have to partner with other people. There's just no other way around it. There's just too many companies out there. You're going to be dealing, back in the 80s and 90s, you used to try to get your films into theaters and stuff like that. But let's go in a little deeper. Let's talk about what happened to independent film. And I would like to start with the heyday. I believe the heyday for independent filmmakers was when the video stores opened. I know a lot of you, whoa, wait a minute. Yeah, I know, but it's the truth. Let me explain this a bit. By the way, and I of course go over this in the book, which you guys should be reading if you can, and you can pick it up as print or as digital format on Amazon. Okay, there, I pushed it. But the way it was back when I started was you'd make a film and then you'd get it into a theater and you'd go around and try to get a theater to show it. You'd get yourself a small distributor that would handle so many theaters and stuff and get it out there, and that was really about the extent of what you could really do, except for get maybe your stuff on late night TV, schlock theater and stuff like that, schlock movie theater and stuff like that. But the heyday really came when the DVD store came about, and let me explain why. No longer was the independent filmmaker fighting for theatrical space, theater space. No, not. When the stores opened and you were able to get them to take your picture, which wasn't that hard when it first started out, you had the same shelf space as the big guys. You were sitting right next to a Metro picture or a Universal picture or whatever. You were right there with them, and you shared the shelf space. And you might be up there for 3 to 6 weeks, maybe longer, depending. And if it was a film that people liked, they would buy 4, 5, or 6 of them. And back then, a rental store would pay $120, $150 for one videotape, VHS tape. And the reason for that is because since all these people are going to rent this movie and see it, the producers aren't going to make the money off it, so they want their money up front, and that was per cost per tape. So the independent filmmaker that got their films out on those shelves had money falling out of their pockets. I mean, it was just going on like crazy. I mean, you'd make a picture for $40,000, $50,000, and you could walk away after a full run. And in all the video stores, there was thousands of video stores all over the place. You'd walk away with $100, $1 million. I mean, it was the heyday. Then what happened was, excuse me, I had a phone call I had to take. So Toshiba, the electronics company, and Warner Brothers Studios got together and come up with a whole new system. They said we could beat the VHS tape and we could sell them a lot cheaper. We could put not only a movie on there on this very cheap medium, but we could put a lot more stuff on there included and sell it for a tiny price compared to what a VHS tape was going for. And, that became the DVD. and the DVD just really changed it for them. I mean, everybody was making money like crazy. The independents were going nuts. We were all making great dollars, big time dollars. But then something really stupid happened, and this was the studios did this. And what it was, they decided, well, let's do this. Let's put the DVDs out sooner, like let's say 6 months after they've been at the theater. That way we can ride on the back of that hype about the movie and sell even more videos, which they did, and it worked great. The problem is it started to destroy the theatrical system. Why should people go to the theater and watch a movie when they can just wait 6 months and they can see it at home and buy it? Well, that's exactly what happened. So they did, and they started selling them in shorter and shorter lengths, getting closer and closer and closer to when the film was released. And what this did was it screwed it up for the theaters because people stopped going to the theaters as much because they figured, well, we'll just wait till it comes out on DVD and we'll buy it then. And that's exactly what happened. So, in a way, they've kind of destroyed themselves, haven't they? Because now we have the internet, and the internet has totally destroyed for the independent filmmaker, the way they were making our money was because we were able to be on the same shelf space as the big guys. We were selling almost as good as the big guys were. It was a fantastic time to be an independent. Now, streaming has come out, and the internet has taken over. And what's happened? It's closed the stores like crazy. No more are we able to sell our videos, our movies, at competitive prices like the big guys. They've been able to, in a way, stomp us out. And that's where the problem has occurred. The problem has basically occurred now that to be an independent filmmaker and sell your wares, you have to now get it on the internet. And they've pretty much got us by the you-know-whats because they basically control it. They are the media. They are combining and buying, and they're their media. They're the ones that are controlling everything. I mean, they own each other. They own Netflix. They own Amazon. They can say whatever we want. We used to be able to make 35 cents every time somebody saw a movie on Amazon, and it was great. We were actually making decent money. But again, they came in, hit us again, and they downed it to 6 cents for every viewing of the movie. Now it's per hour on Amazon. And I'm not trying to knock Amazon down. I do understand that they have to be able to, stay alive. But let's face it, they're being a little greedy now. Going from 35 to 37 cents down to 6 cents. And there was a cap at one time to where like you could only make, $20,000 within a given year, and then after that you can't make any more no matter how many times people watch your movie. With this 6 cents, they've gotten rid of that cap. Well, they should do something at least to help us out. But they sure want our movies. But they don't want to help us out. So what are we supposed to do here? What are we supposed to do? Well, that's where getting a distributor comes in so important. Now, if you're an independent, now you're going to fight all these people all by yourself. And that's fine if that's what you want to do. I don't see anything wrong with that. If that's what you want to do, go for it, man, because maybe that's what you want to do. Maybe you want to get out there and do the battle. As for those of us that want to make a living and make money at this, we tend to want to go with a distributor because the distributors are on our side. They're rooting for us because if we don't make it, they don't make it. It's kind of almost gone back to the old days in the 60s and 40s and the 50s and 60s to where the distributor take on your film and push it. But these are good distributors, and I have a thing called evil distributors, and I'm not going to go into that right now because it's too long, but I will get into it at a later date. It's very important that you understand if you decide to go with, be your own alternative distributor, that no matter what you do, you're going to have to get people involved. You're going to be sharing your profits with somebody. I mean, you're just going to. You put it on iTunes, you're going to share your money. You put it on, Amazon, you're sharing your money. It just goes on and on and on and on. So why not get with a distributor that is able to not only deal with stuff in this country and Amazon outside the country, but also other places where your films can be shown outside the country. That's where you're going to make your bulk of your money. It used to be you made 65% of your money outside the United States. It's kind of still that way. It's getting back to that again. I can see it starting to come back again. It has gone through this change. We were on this high, and then all of a sudden went way down, and now it's starting to come back up again. It's just now starting to come back up again. But when Amazon did what they did, it kind of put a big bump in the road. Bam, put us back down again, and we're starting to climb out of that hole. Hopefully we'll be able to climb out of that hole all the way. But if you find the right distributor, you are going to have a place to sell your film and make some money at the meantime. No matter what, I don't care who you go with nowadays. You're going to have to, whether you're independent or if you're dealing with a distributor, you're going to have to do a lot of marketing for your movies. And we'll go over that too later on about marketing for your films and kind of what's the best and the worst way to go. But you all know about how I feel about Amazon. Facebook ads. I think they're great if you're doing it for specific reasons. Because of the hit that we got from Amazon, going from 35 cents down to 6 cents of viewing, it's really cramped our style of being able to put ad dollars out there to help push the films. So you have to do it. You have to do it in other ways. But the great thing is Facebook isn't the only place to go. There's a lot of other places to go. Even though Facebook has probably got the best, I believe has got the best algorithm for that. And if you're going to self-distribute, then it's worth, then this is one of the good things about it. If you decided to go with distributing yourself and selling your movie yourself on your own website and all that stuff, then Facebook is a good place to go to push, because you're going to get basically 100% of your money back. If you're going to sell your picture for $15, you're going to get $15. Whereas with a DVD distributor, for every sale you're going to make $1 or $2 a sale. So, but one thing about this that you have to understand is that with a distributor you're selling in volume, whereas with doing it yourself on Facebook, you're only going to be selling to the specific people that are on Facebook and happen to see your ad at that time. It usually comes down. We've been able to come down to about 2%, and it's been the same. It was that like that during the old days when we used to do mail order, and mail actually through the mail, snail mail. It was around 2%. I have found that on Facebook, using Facebook ads, you can get as high as 6 to 8%. And for the price, it's a lot cheaper. When we were doing, straight through the mail, you're paying 27 to 35 cents, per envelope to send out. But if you had a license, mail order license, you could get away with sending them out for 10 cents. But then there's the printing and the envelope and all that stuff. So, it was really expensive, and you're looking at 2% return. So you get 2 buys out of every 100, mailing pieces that you sent out. Whereas on Facebook, you don't have all those prices. You're just paying, you're doing a pay-per-click thing, and cost per click, and it's a lot cheaper. And you really, really need to look into this, because it's really is a good way to go. Now, if you're just dealing with Amazon, doing, you're not going to make that much money. 6 cents is what you're going to make off of each viewing of each hour, and that's about it. So you have to pick your battles here and decide which way you're going to go. And I would like to get more into the self-distribution, alternative distribution bit, but until I got to get better questions, you guys. I understand that a lot of you are new and you really don't understand what to even ask. So maybe out of what I just went over, some of the stuff I just went over, it kind of piqued your interest a little bit, and maybe you'll come back with some good questions. That's really about all I have for today. You know, there's a lot more I could go over, but it would really stretch it out. So I'm taking this piece by piece. So if you want me to go over more on this, write me. Let me know what you want me to talk about, and I'll see if I can arrange it and get it out there for you guys. All right? Listen, sorry for it to be so short today, but we got things to do around here. We're making movies and even some commercials. So you guys be well. Watch us next week. Watch for us. Also, join, if you can, join on Facebook. We have a group now called Talking Film Production and Vlog. And get on there and get with it and join up. Get involved. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. I'm going to try to get a lot of stuff from the people that are, involved on that little group, and we can take it even farther from there. I'm even thinking about having some of you guys that are close by or want to come to a shoot that we're working on a film, if that's what you really want to do. If you want to come work on one of our films, hey, that's really about all I got for now. So listen, take care, and we'll talk again next week.